Today is day 57 of 100 Random Acts of Kindness. I didn't get dressed today, so I'm all covered up because I'm still in my pajamas. Tomorrow's a big day, and I'm really scared. I'm not even scared about hearing that the cancer's progressed. I'm just scared about trying a new treatment. I got 2.5 years out of the first one, and if this one isn't working, that's 2 months, and you just start burning through treatment pretty fast. And 6 months ago, things were good, and things just aren't great now. I don't feel well a lot. I'm just tired of being sick, and it's very much a full-time job. And there's no escaping it. And sometimes I find myself trying to talk myself out of throwing up because I really don't feel well a lot. And there are things that work for me but make me tired, or work for me but they're kind of a last resort on this trial because it can affect my heart, or, so I'm okay, just scared. I'm really hoping that I can report tomorrow that I'm okay, but my other big concern is that, like I had mentioned, the MRI didn't go as smoothly on Friday as it was supposed to, so I wouldn't be shocked if they kind of do an emergency MRI tomorrow, because treatment's supposed to be on Wednesday, so I don't know what that will mean for treatment if they can't see without the contrast. And with trials, they like to compare apples to apples. So when you compare a contrast MRI to a non-contrast MRI, it's not really comparing apples to apples. So I don't know what the deal is for tomorrow. Contrast is kind of like, it's the injection that goes into your veins. It's different for CT and MRI. Essentially, it's the same thing, but I think it's a different kind of cocktail. But they often do a scan when you have contrast. You can get a scan without the IV, and they just do a scan, and that works for some things. And then the contrast is injected often halfway through after they've done the scan without it, and then it's injected into you. And it kind of lights up the cancer, is my understanding anyway. So it's kind of hard. I don't know how else to explain it. So it's kind of hard to compare one scan that has it to another scan that doesn't. Especially with certain organs and stuff. It's not always the same with bone. But now that we've got organ involvement, contrast can make a difference. So today, my random act of kindness. I haven't really left the couch much today. And we're lucky enough to have a number of blankets just kind of that we have access to. And one of my favorites is what I am covering myself up with from you viewing my pajamas. And it's this beautiful homemade quilt. My cousin Craig's girlfriend Heidi, her mom Anne, sent this quilt with my Aunt Janet and my mom. And I opened it, and I can't imagine the amount of work that goes into making a quilt. And she made it for me. It wasn't... I just think that's amazing that people do these things that take hours and hours and hours and hours and hours for me. And I just am constantly blown away. We keep this out. It's, like I said, it's one of our favorites. And we keep it out, and when people come over and see it on our couch and say, oh, that's a nice quilt, I get to tell them how lucky I am that Anne made it for me, and I just love it. And this is another thing that I'm just so grateful for. And I don't know Anne like I know Heidi well, but I don't know Anne well. And she just did this because she knew I was sick and knew that, or hoped that it would brighten my day. And obviously it has brightened many days. It's also nice and long, and I'm 6 feet tall, so that's always a prerequisite for blankets. And yeah, I just love it. It's I'll try to bring it in close. It's very appropriate for fall, like when weather is about to get quite cold. It's very appropriate, and I just felt, when I think of quilts, I had a childhood neighbor friend, and they had a quilt in the kids' playroom, I guess. And I always thought, oh, that's so nice. I always think of it, actually. When I think of quilts, that's the first thing that pops into my mind. Just one of those things that you have forever, I feel. Like even when it starts, there's when it starts kind of deteriorating, you just hang on to it. Like quilts are just, because they've been handmade and they've been passed down often. So this just makes me really happy. And after I'm gone, I know Keith will have it, and it's kind of a part of me and a part of the family, and I love it. And like I have said 5,000 times now, I feel like I'm saying it every video at this point. Speak to your strengths, and these gifts or gestures or actions are so helpful. I feel like often, like today, like we had friends up this weekend, and that was an amazing distraction, because today I got up at about 3:30 in the morning and was just panicked and tried for about an hour to calm down, and it didn't go well. So I woke Keith up and said, like, what's he supposed to do? I'm not sure. I think a good wife would have just let him sleep. But I had to wake him up and say, I don't know, tell me a story, rub my back, something. I need help. And when it's that late, like had that happened at midnight, I may have tried sedation or something. But when it's 4:30, 5 o'clock, like I don't want to take something and then be sleeping until 1. So I didn't take anything. Tonight I'm going to have to take something because it has been a bit of a rough day. But anyway, so on to tomorrow. Hopefully in the next, 12 hours, I'll at least know what's going on. I mean, I really think I'm going to be sent to another hospital to get the MRI that I was telling them that I needed on Friday, but maybe I have no idea what I'm talking about. Maybe this is exactly what's supposed to be happening. And hopefully by end of day, I know a little bit more. But that's it. So bit of a rough 24, 48 hours coming at me, because if everything's fine, then I have treatment on Wednesday, and it's sucky with needles, and I think I have 5 needles on Wednesday, so you can imagine what that's doing to me. So anyway, yeah, just kind of a rough day, but thanks for following along, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.